Now in its 9th year, this is GabNet, the Great American Broadcast Network. Talk like you've never heard it before.
Hey everybody, yeah, this is Alex, and this is the Ramble. We're going till midnight tonight. Yes, folks, it's another week, and it's another interesting time to be spent with Lori Thompson, and it must be next week because she's not wearing the same clothes she wore last week.
Yes, it's a brand new foray. It's an adventure.
What did you do? You just put on a jacket, right?
I put on a jacket, yeah, because, it's cold here in Florida today, much to my chagrin.
What's cold in Florida?
Cold in Florida for me?
Yeah.
If anything hovering 62 or below.
Oh, 62 or below. Okay. Is it 62 or below? Because here it's 68. I just looked at my watch.
Well, that's not fair. I mean, in fact, I kind of have this competition I run on the weather between my hometown and Florida. Mm-hmm. And if they're ever warmer than we are, I mean, except when it gets absurd, like, 102, I get a little miffed. It's like, wait a minute, I was sold a bill of goods. And I can't be that way. That's what I find, that much of my energy, my emotional energy, is fighting attitudes that may have served me at one time, but they just don't serve me now.
Yeah. Like, now, you told me earlier on, before we went on, that you, Lori Thompson, is working at a radio station again?
Yes, I did. I love radio. I love the smell of radio stations.
How do you find these jobs? I can't find those jobs.
In Florida, I just walked in to this one, and they wanted to build their news program around the news stuff that I sent them. And I said, well, we travel so much. And I just kind of I showed them an itinerary of when we're going to be gone. And it's so often that I just, I didn't think it would be fair to them. And plus, I didn't know if I would be up at 3 a.m. anymore. And so I went with a weekend thing, which is sheerly fun. It's just for fun. And so it's classic rock.
And if you're going on vacation, you just go, right?
Yeah. Because I've been up front with them. Yeah. I think that's the key to so many things, so many endeavors in life that we undertake.
You got to be upfront about something like that.
All the way. You
can't say, well, I'm going to do my shift this week, but we're going to Greece next week.
Because I've already told them that.
Yeah, but you've already told them that, and they put you on. What the hell? They get an old full-time profession. Now, let me ask you a question here. Okay.
Yeah.
You're in Florida. What town is this radio station in?
It's Fort Walton Beach area.
Oh, okay. And what's the station's name in case people want to go online and listen to it?
K-Rock.
What?
K-Rock. It's K-Rock 100.3. Classic rock station.
Yeah, but really 100.3. Well, look, I don't know what they would look up. How they would look it up?
They can look up Omni Broadcasting.
Omni Broadcasting.
And then K-Rock 100.3. That can get them, and they can listen live.
Yeah, but that's not the actual letter sign call.
No,
because it would be a W where you are.
Right, and I never can remember what it is because we don't say it on the air.
Yeah, they don't say it on the air. You don't have to do it anymore, do you? Where like every hour you have to say the call letters.
That's usually a piece of imaging. You have to say the call letters that you were given, the FCC call letters, and then your town.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
That's
all right. Still have to do that. Okay. We haven't gone that far that we can't do that anymore. So,
I know.
So anyway, so you do. So anyway, here's the question I'm going to ask you. You don't have to answer it if you don't want to.
Okay.
How much are you getting paid for that?
No, really.
What?
No. Next to nothing.
What do you mean nil? What's nil?
Next to nothing. Next to nothing.
What,
I mean, I get.
Wait a minute. Are you doing it for free? Is what I'm asking.
I'm doing it for fun. Yeah,
Well,
I
wait a
wouldn't
minute,
say
wait a
exactly.
minute, but do they
No.
give you a check? Do they give you a check?
They made me an offer that if I have that to sell, so it's to get my name on the air, and then I can sell it. I don't like doing sales though.
What do you?
I just-
Oh, you're selling the time.
And it would be 20% commission if I wanted to go that way.
Oh boy, so you're
So-
working for nothing.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Well, pretty much. You're not. You don't get a check from them, is what you're saying.
I don't unless
Unless you
while I was
sell the
out.
time.
Yeah. And then that's how a lot of small
So
stations.
anybody can walk in the door, get a show, and then try and sell the time.
No, you have to have some jobs. I mean, because they wouldn't give it to anybody. But I have.
I mean, but the gall of that, just the
I know.
gall of that, of not paying people for what they're doing. I'll
And
tell
the
you what
pitch
happened
is-
to me. What happened to me, and it happened twice. I worked WOR New York. Here in New York is a legacy station. To begin with, it's got 3 letters as a call letter, as a call sign, and that's really old. Okay.
Yeah,
Because they
I was
went to
gonna say.
4 and never went back to 3. Okay.
Yeah.
So any station that's got 3 letters, it's a legacy radio station.
Eventually, it'll be K anti-disestablishment.
So I went there and I did a shift for them on a I don't know, it was a weekday or something like that, replacing somebody so they could hear how I was doing and how I sounded and everything.
Yeah.
That's fine with me. I just feel at this age I didn't need to audition anymore. I mean, I am what I am. I
Right.
said Popeye the Sailor Man, and so I didn't know what to do. And so anyway, I went in. I did it. Okay, I did the show. I am union.
Yeah.
Okay.
After it.
The station is, I believe, after it. If
Yeah.
I'm not mistaken. And I go in. I do the show, and that's it. Never get a check. Never.
Oh, really?
Never. For that shift, probably I used to do a shift at WOR replacement shift, and I used to get $300 a shift.
Yeah. Well, I knew that they probably. That's an odd. See, but that's the change in radio.
Yeah, but wait a minute. So I never got a check. So a couple of years later, when I left Live 105 that week, that New Year's Eve, they brought me in to do the New Year's Eve show, or the show because somebody was taking the night off because it was New Year's Eve, right?
Yeah.
And I even had my old producer there. He was producing the show. And I did it. And after I did it, do you think anybody ever sent me a check or asked me where to send the check or give us your number of your AFTRA or anything like? Nothing. Never
Nothing.
got
It's
paid.
because they view it as a vanity thing, I think, and it's partly vanity.
No,
It's
but
just
it
part-
isn't vanity when you're an AFTRA station and you got to pay AFTRA fees to AFTRA
Yeah.
performers.
If you took that to AFTRA, they would
Now,
enforce it.
people say to me, why didn't you complain to them? And the reason I didn't complain to them is because of what I'm doing right now, because it gave me the right to bitch.
Yeah.
Okay, it gave me the right to bitch. I mean,
You could become a
here's a radio
spokesperson for labor.
station owned by iHeartRadio in a major city, and they don't ask me where to send the check?
See, iHeart has ironed all of the money out for people on the air. They just ironed it out.
Yeah,
Flat.
somehow. I mean, there are certain people they do pay a lot of money to because
Yeah.
they're big
people.
performers, and but I just never understood it. It never made any sense to me because as a professional, I go to a radio station, I do a shift, a couple of weeks later, there's a check in the mail.
Yeah. Yeah. And in
Uh,
your sizable checks.
Yeah,
I mean, in my
and they would always ask me, "Are you after? Show me your card," and all of that before we do the shift.
and you
so-
sign something.
So
you know.
that's the change in radio. They just feel nobody works for money anymore.
Yeah, that's true. Unless you
So-
get a voice tracking gig,
Yeah.
which is another thing, another option I know
Well,
have,
you
or another market See.
you're doing it for grins, basically.
for grins and access to. I just like to play on the radio, and I do have access to their equipment. They're really good about that.
Well, there's
So-
it's a good place to just walk in and do a show and have I like going into a studio. I don't
I do-
like sitting at home doing a show. I'm here in my underpants right now. I really am, seriously. I mean, I don't need to get dressed up. I can be naked below the waist for all I want. Nobody's going to see it. And it's just too easy. And so if I'm doing a radio show from here and I'm sending the signal to the radio station, which we could set up,
Mm-hmm.
It just wouldn't feel the same to me as walking into a studio. Like a couple of weeks ago, they asked me to go in and do a shift for a guy who was going off for the night at a station which, oddly enough, is a Christian radio station.
Oh my gosh, we could have some debates.
And it's a right-wing Christian radio station.
Oh my gosh,
yeah,
that would be fun.
And I told them beforehand. I said, I'm Jewish, and I'm a flaming liberal. And they said, we don't care. That'd be nice for the night,
Yeah.
So I went in there, and all around me are these things like Christ saves,
Christ
things like
the
that.
Answer.
Yeah, Christ is the answer. And then there's some political things, to the right. And this station has as their morning man, Joe Piscopo.
Really?
Yes.
And he's on a Christian station.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Well, and he might well be and claim to be.
He is Christian. I mean, he's Piscopo, probably Catholic.
I would think. Yeah, I would think. And the thing is, here's what being raised the way I was raised in Assembly of God in Bible quiz. Here's the advantage I have is that I memorized huge chunks of the New Testament. And so when something's being misquoted, I can.
Can you for a moment recite me some of that?
Yeah. Let's see. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. The same was in the beginning with God. In him was life, and that life was the light of men. And the light shineth in darkness, and the darkness comprehended it not.
You can do this with the whole Bible?
I can do it with a lot of the New Testament. That's the beginning of John.
New Testament, yeah.
Yeah, and then I make notes about like Jeremiah 29:11, which I don't think falls in the New Testament.
He was a bullfrog, wasn't he? He was a good friend.
He was a friend of yours, yeah. And it says, "For I know the plans I have for you, to prosper you and not to harm you, but to give you hope and a future." And that one is encouraging.
God, I didn't know that about you. We could have done that on our show in the morning and then written it off as a religious broadcast.
Right? We could have got that portion tax free.
Every morning you should have said, "Here's Lori with the Bible," and then you would just. I didn't. Yes, known that. Yeah.
Because it's something that Bible quiz. It's all memorization, and you would compete against other teams from different states and regions. And Axl Rose, of all people, did Bible quiz in Indiana. He and I are roughly the same age. And so there's a very good chance that I quizzed against him.
Wow.
And, but he wasn't Axl then. Yeah, it is a great program. I mean, it saved me.
It's just amazing the things we remember from when we were younger. And we can't remember we can't remember something from yesterday or a name of somebody we should know the name of. But we go back to those early days and we can say things,
Because you and I did radio before Google. There was no way to settle an argument except remembering it and backing it up.
Well, yes, that's one part of it.
You just had to know stuff back then.
To me, there's more to it than that, though.
How so?
Well, I mean, I think that Google. You know what Google's great for today? I had to find out I couldn't remember how to do percentages anymore. And
the calculator function on your iPhone.
Yeah.
Give that away.
Yeah. Oh, she went to FedEx to send it. Oh. Marjorie went to FedEx. Thank you, Marjorie.
That's what spouses do. Like, I'm the post office person. Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, where was I? Oh, where were we?
You were talking about the things we remember from childhood.
Yeah. I mean, they're just little things like statements, little rhymes or whatever that we remember. But the fact that I'm impressed that you remember whole tracts from the Bible. God.
Yeah, it was a very meaningful
Because
part
to
of my
begin
life.
with, the Bible is written in its own language almost. You know.
Most Yeah, I don't like the new the new versions. I like the New International Version. Don't like that. We use King James.
You see, I'm Jewish, and we
Mhm.
stop at the Old Testament. We don't go to the New Testament. And
Right.
the difference between the two, between the Old Testament and the New Testament, is the Old Testament are fables,
Yeah,
right?
I would agree.
And the New Testament is history.
Oh, that's an interesting thought. Here's a revolutionary thought. What if this rapture that's made so much of in Pentecost, what I was raised in, this rapture where, it's going to be, okay, all you good people, come on up.
What,
and
you're
all
going to go
you-
floating up to the heavens, right?
No, what if it's already taken place and we're the dregs? Like it took
Oh,
place
I see.
centuries
Yeah, I
ago.
see. They got
And
rid of all the took all the good people and left the riffraff behind.
It's a possibility. It's
Oh yeah,
possible.
yeah. I really believe that. Anyway, so
But
being
what if it's
Jewish, we stop at the end of the Old Testament.
Yeah.
That's it, because we don't go to that history of Christ and John the Baptist and all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
We stop there, and we all the stuff we have in the Old Testament are fables, and I believe that the Bible as we have it as the Old Testament was written by people telling fables at campfires, down
I would
through
say-
history, and finally somebody decided to codify it
Yeah.
and put it into print. But they're all fables, and they all have a lesson to be learned from them.
Yeah.
So they're fables. And I like that. I think if you take it as just fables, not as something real, it's cool. It's just cool.
See, I have a similar approach to the New Testament, as did my father did. He's passed away, but it's metaphor. It's metaphor. It's not. So many people are so literal, and I think they miss wonderful spiritual truths by reading the New Testament as literal, when instead of absorbing the wonderful metaphors. And it's
so when you go to church, when you went to church, and when you went to Sunday school or whatever, they didn't teach you the Old Testament, did they?
No, they did.
Oh, they
did.
did. They did.
Yeah,
Okay.
because it had some great fables. We had a huge color-plated Bible
And
story.
it also gave a simple example of how the world was created, how the world is. I mean, we know there wasn't an Adam and Eve, but it's a simple way of telling the story to a person around a campfire.
Right. The Bible is metaphoric. Like, we still go to church, but man, we have a great minister, female, African American,
You still
so
go?
passionate.
You still go? How often?
We go every 2 weeks. She only has services every 2 weeks, but this woman is so passionate about the scripture.
It's amazing. I didn't know you were still going. Were you still going to church when I knew you in San Francisco?
Occasionally, I would occasionally go to church. Yeah, there were a couple assemblies of
This
God.
is really, I didn't know, but this is really ground into you, isn't it?
It's morphed.
No, I mean, it's morphed. You've adapted it to your life, but you haven't
Yeah.
given up on it.
Oh, no. My spouse, in fact, for the first time, I think I have a spouse, or a spouse.
For the first time, you have a spouse, period.
Period.
Yeah.
A significant other who's also interested in spiritual things. And that's why it's such a pleasure to, be in a relationship where you can talk freely about spiritual things and not feel that you're going to be dubbed a simple mind or
So he's quite religious himself.
Well, I don't know if religious is the right way to describe this, but yeah, we have deep spiritual.
I mean, is this something that brought you together?
Maybe.
I mean, when you knew this about him, it kind of made you.
It encouraged me. Yeah,
it encouraged.
Because we used to go to church where his friends did. It was a big congregation in Brandon, I think, Mississippi. It's near Jackson. It's one of the burbs, and it was a huge one.
Where did you meet him, in Mississippi?
In Mississippi. We don't know how we ended up there. But he's from New York. He's from Long Island.
Oh,
yeah. And right, and and I was basically looking for other jobs there after the conservative news gig ended, and I was very happy to be gone from that.
I never. What city in Mississippi were you living in?
Jackson, which is the
Jackson,
capital.
Mississippi. Okay, which is
So,
the
and
capital.
that's a city with so much potential and no confidence. And plus, the voters are blocked by the churches.
Wow.
By that I mean BLOC.
Mhm.
The churches vote as blocks.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, so it's an interesting
See,
place.
I think it's wrong of a church to preach politics. I think that's not what they're there for.
And no,
They're there for
but
soothing the soul.
the line isn't just crossed; it's jumped and trampled between politics and
Isn't that
religion in
amazing?
Jackson.
That is amazing.
Yeah, I feel like Joan Didion did Miami.
Yeah.
I feel like I should do one called
But
Jackson.
you didn't get married till you were how old?
61?
61. That's a long time to go without being married. Okay.
It is. I kind of had, I think it was partly piety. I didn't want to have failed marriages. I didn't want to have that record. So I thought, well, if I don't get married.
Yeah. So you
I'll
met
never-
you met this guy, and was the religion part of the thing that bound you to him? I mean,
It attracted me
It
that I could
attracted
discuss
you.
spiritual
okay.
things with him.
So if you met a guy who wasn't religious at all, or he was an atheist, that would change the thing. You might not get interested, right?
Well, it wouldn't be a draw because that to me is an all or nothing
Mhm.
identity, and it's everything else about you is filtered through it.
Wow.
And so I don't think it would be. I don't know that it would rule it out forever and completely and ultimately.
Mhm.
If the person had so many other qualities going for them, I would listen to their views, and if they seemed consistent with living a gracious life,
Yeah.
I wouldn't, get out of here or anything like that.
Yeah. Right. So anyway,
spirit-
that's the spiritual life of Lori Thompson.
I know. We could do one. We kind of did anyway. The Hebrew and the Pentecostal. Which,
Now wait a minute. Now let's get back to the radio station a second. You said it's a conservative radio station.
No, this one isn't. The one I worked for in Jackson.
Oh,
was.
I see. Okay.
And I felt unreasonably so, but I had taken the job because news is objective, supposedly. But I didn't find that there. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not mentioning, but yeah, I didn't find that there.
I find all news to be a lie today. And we haven't got much more time left here to discuss this, but I just find it a lie.
So distorted.
I don't think a news operation should have a political bent. Okay,
No,
I think it should report the news, and
Right.
I find Fox abysmal, but I also find MSNBC abysmal. I find any of these that take a position because they're trying to play to a certain crowd.
It's their format.
That isn't what news is about. News is about perhaps telling them things they don't want to hear.
Exactly, objectively from both sides.
Well,
but, both
that
sides.
they don't want to hear, and they go, I got to think about that.
Mhm.
And
That's all I want is to present information to let people decide for themselves.
You know
And
what's driving me crazy lately? I watch these guys in Israel reporting the stuff that's going on over there, right?
Yeah, Hamas.
And they always ask questions that implicit in the question is the answer they want.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, and it's interesting because
okay, were you frightened by this whole situation?
I wasn't frightened.
No, but something like that where they are implying the answer they want to get.
Oh yeah.
The answer to that would be frightened. Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, rather than saying, "How did you feel?"
Yeah, exactly, Ben. See,
and that drives me crazy.
Because we live in a pro-Israeli country. Because
forget about Israel. I'm just using that as an example. But where the reporters ask a question that really implicit in the question is the answer they want to get. They're not giving the person much option to answer other questions. You get what I'm saying?
I totally get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Because I have a little bit of different experience. In high school, one of my best friends was Palestinian and moved here from Kuwait, a small town house. And so she was the one that first pointed out to me the way the news operated, and that the news, without even going on record, had a perspective that could be revealed in the way they asked questions.
Yeah, yeah.
And I got to know a little bit about Palestinian history and Palestinian clashes with Israel, and to see that the Palestinians, because I got her take on things, and so I had to at least admit when I looked at the headlines that there was something else going on here that wasn't being reported.
We've run out of our normal time, but as with you, it's always to hell with it. I will go over here because I just, what I'm talking about basically is that when they're asking questions in which they're forcing the answer out of somebody that they want to hear. It's, you know, and I don't like news people doing that. I think news people should be, how do you feel about this? How do you feel about that? Not like, do you feel this about that?
Yeah, exactly. Just ask, what's your perspective?
Yeah, that's the difference. And I find that abominable when that goes on. You know?
Because a question like, what's your perspective on a situation? That's why oral histories are better than biographies or memoirs, because you are asking, I mean, the individual perspectives of this world make up our global identity. And so that's why people, when they're asked,
by the way, I've come up with another theory, okay?
What?
And excuse me, folks, if we go over, but this is more interesting than anything. And I'm going to get heat for this. I feel that America's attitude towards Israel, okay, the political attitude towards Israel is anti-Semitic.
You're right.
And it's anti-Semitic because they're siding with the Jews, because in their mind they're saying, you know, there are a lot of rich Jews in America and we don't want to lose them.
We don't want to piss them off.
And that's anti-Semitic.
Yeah, because it makes an assumption and creates a profile.
And that's the reason that their attitudes about Israel are formed on that. I mean, Israel politically, terrible state. Worse every year. Under Netanyahu, terrible.
Yeah,
okay? He's trying to get away with the do away with the Supreme Court over there, which is the governing body of the country. It is not the president, not the prime minister, or whatever. It is. They don't have a Congress and they have a Knesset, but they don't have really don't have a governing body. The main governing body is the Supreme Court, and he's trying to do away with the Supreme Court.
Yeah, I think that Israel has been given a free pass for all those reasons.
But nobody on the air here in America will be critical of Israel because they feel that all the rich Jews in America will be against them. And that's an anti-Semitic attitude.
Right, it's profiling. Yeah. But, I mean,
call me crazy,
positive
folks.
Profiling.
Call me crazy, folks.
But I think that Tegreed, my friend, is one of the reasons I may have got into news, because I just saw from an early age, when we first met, we were 12 years old, and I saw from an early age that the media, which I always thought was the voice of God, and it isn't. And it's, who was it that said, the only reason for patriotism is an idea that this country's better because you were born in it. Can't remember.
Anyway, listen, we've run out of time here. Oops, I hit my mic. We're out of time here, but it's always, I love this. I love this. I never know where we're going to go when we have
we don't have a map or a compass, but we'll get there.
Ladies and gentlemen, her name is under her picture, and her name is Lori Thompson. Thank you, Lori.
Thank you, Ben.
Now in its 9th year, this is GabNet, the Great American Broadcast Network. Talk like you've never heard it before.
And that's our good friend Lori Thompson, and we always love talking to her. We'll talk to her again next week. She likes doing it, and we like having her doing it. Okay? All righty. There's nobody calling. Nobody. I am tired of this on Thursdays. I have no idea why, and whatever. So I don't know. If I don't get somebody here within, 3 minutes, I'm going to sign off. What the hell? I enjoyed hearing from Lori. I'm sure a lot of our audience did as well. And, that's it. We had our president give a speech tonight. Fairly good speech. I have no real criticism of it. I think he was even-handed, and he was talking about not only the problems in Israel, but the problems in Ukraine as well. And he also said, hey, the Palestinians have to be taken into consideration. I mean, he had a fairly nice thing to say about the average Palestinian. The Palestinians aren't the enemy. The enemy are always either zealots or people who are, 5 ways to the left of Tuesday. Okay? And that's what everybody should understand, And to be pro-Palestinian is not to be anti-Jewish. It may be to be kind of anti-Israel, but I mean, Israel is a completely. You have to separate. Well, wait a minute. Here comes somebody, so I may as well put him on. He's in his car, and we can barely even see him. Wait a minute. I'll show you what I mean here. Hold on. Oh, there he is. You're driving home, right? Is that what's happening?
No. Yeah, driving home. Say hi.
Hi.
Oh, okay. Wait a minute. Hold on a second. I got to put my face back on the screen here because it says Charlene's iPhone entered the room. And, oh, there she is. Okay, that's her. All right. Okay. I'm just being extra careful lately so that we don't get people trying to get on here who shouldn't be getting on here. But anyway, I just was saying that to be there's nothing wrong with being pro-Palestine, Palestinian. It's not saying you're anti-Semitic or anything like that. What is your turn your phone the other way, Charlene? There. It didn't turn the other way. Yeah. Anyway, so I mean, people have to understand. The thing it's always bothered me is the thing's always bothered me about this. What did you turn your phone for again?
Sorry. I'm watching. That's what it is.
Yeah. Where was I? Oh, the notion, the thing I disliked about Israel, and the thing that always upset me about Israel, was the fact that as a Jew, I don't want the politics of a nation to be associated with me and my religion. In other words, people will say to me, "Oh, Israel's your homeland, right?" No, not even close. Okay, this is my homeland. I was raised here. I was born here. This is my country. All right. So when a country starts up and says, "Okay, this is the Jewish state," all of a sudden they're kind of speaking for me. And I don't like their politics. I think what they've done to the Palestinians over the years has been terrible. And I think the way in which Netanyahu is running that country now, you wouldn't stand for it over here. So I don't want to be associated with the politics of a country just simply based on my ethnic heritage. You get what I'm saying? Does that make sense to you? You guys agree or disagree with me?
Yeah.
I mean, if everything that Israel's doing, some people are blaming on the Jews. Well, I'm sorry. I find what's going on in Israel and in Gaza unconscionable on both sides. I think that the easiest thing in times like this is to give in to getting even. And I think the hardest thing to do, and the thing that is the best approach, is restraint. And you don't just go bombing a bunch of people who are innocent civilians because you're trying to get the bad guys who are maybe nested among them. That's not a reason to kill all those people. There are other ways of handling it, but that's just me. I'm sorry, but I thought the president took a very measured approach tonight and bespoke his his feelings well. Did you hear it tonight at all, Kevin?
No, I didn't.
Did you hear it,
at all.
Charlene?
No, I'm sorry, Alex.
Boy, nobody wants to listen to our president. How about you, Brian? No? Okay, well, then forget about it. We're not going to talk about the president's speech tonight. And actually, we don't have to. You know.
Did he talked about Ukraine also?
Hmm?
Did he talk about Ukraine also?
Yeah, he talked about Ukraine quite a bit. He aligned the two situations like I have, that you know the Hamas and Putin are exactly of the same stripe. You know, they do the same thing. They kidnap kids and they rape women and they, you know, it's been all that. So he said that. He said that they're very similar. And he said that if we don't stop Putin and we don't stop Hamas, then there's going to be some terrible stuff going on, you know, as a result of that. I thought it was a good speech all the way around. But yes, Charlene.
Well, you know me, Alex. The only thing I kind of saw was the nightly news on ABC. And can I ask you, they mentioned something about, you know, I could have gotten it wrong because you know me, I'm blonde. So, like, did our country take a shot in Israel or something like that? Or I might have that all wrong. So I apologize.
What do you mean, did our country take a shot in Israel?
Like we took, like the United States went over there and in Israel fired something.
No.
I say that.
No, because we don't have anything for us to use over there.
We haven't sent anybody, no boots on the ground or anything like that, right?
We have no boots anywhere in that area. We do have some ships offshore, which we do in many circumstances like this, but that's not boots on the ground.
Okay.
No, I mean, in fact, I think one of the things, if I remember correctly, that Biden said tonight was he didn't have any intention of putting any boots on the ground in Ukraine.
Oh, good,
you know?
good.
So,
okay.
you know, and that he on purpose has not put boots on the ground there. But in lieu of that, we have to supply them with the necessary materials they need to kick Putin out. You know, and we have to do it for Israel as well. Then he said, and this is the part I don't get, I'm tomorrow sending a bill or a bill or whatever to the Congress tomorrow to pass to get money for these countries. And I'm thinking, what Congress? It ain't open for business. Where are you gonna send the bill? You know.
Alex, you know that just talked about the thing going on with the Congress. Is that like the first time this has ever happened in history or something? You know, Josh isn't here, but you know he probably would be able to handle that one better. Like, I just thought maybe this has never happened before. What's going on with Congress?
I think. Am I right, Kevin? You look like you kind of agree that this is about the first time this has happened. Yeah.
It's precedent, like a precedent or something.
Yeah.
Well, forget about precedent. It's just a stupid thing. You know, these people can't get their crap together, and they should be. You know, if they're supposed to be leading us, right? They're supposed to be the party.
He set it up for himself to happen. Obviously, he set it up for himself to happen, and then they did it. So,
set what up to happen?
Well, he set it up for him to be able to be voted out.
Mm-hmm.
And they took him up on it and did it.
Right. Right. Yeah, but now if you're going to kick somebody out, you better have somebody you're going to put in.
Exactly. And they didn't have that plan in place.
Yeah. I mean, right now, a lot of them are saying, gee, McCarthy probably should have stayed in power. You know, I'm not saying that.
Yeah, they didn't think about that. And, of course, who led that charge was Mr. Gates, who probably thought he was going to be in line, but that didn't happen.
Nobody wants him.
No, not at all.
Who wants a baby raper?
But you would think that somebody would have walked up to him and said, who do you got in mind?
Yeah. Charlene.
You know, you guys, you know, Alex, everybody, you men, like, are they doing stuff do you think it's ever going to be, settled? And what are they going to do about this? I mean, this is crazy.
Well,
What's going on?
it's going to get settled one way or the other.
Has to be, right? It can't go on like this, right? They
Yeah.
have to do something, right?
You know,
Yeah, did they have a vote today again?
no, but what's
Oh,
his
they were
name?
supposed to.
What's his
know
name?
they had
Said
their
he
little
wants
conferences and whatnot.
he wants another vote now. He's taking another chance on.
Oh,
He got
Yeah, and they
two
were-
less votes last time on the second.
Yeah,
vote.
and they were supposed to have a vote today after their little conference at 11 o'clock this morning,
Mhm.
and I guess they didn't have it because I was out working and running around today, so I didn't catch too much of what was going on.
Yeah.
But they were supposed to have a conference. Last I saw, about 11 o'clock my time, they were having a conference, and he was gonna, talk everybody into doing it. And of course, obviously, that didn't happen.
No, in fact, they had a conference yesterday for him to talk people into it, and then went to take a vote, and he got two less votes than he got in the first vote.
Right? And yeah, okay.
Yeah. So I
So,
mean, it's
It's
proving
McCarthy all over again.
it's proving the Republicans can't get their stuff together.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, you would like to have a party in power in Congress who can get their stuff together.
And there's more of a push now. I'm hearing that they want Patrick McHenry just to take over and do it.
Well,
But
that is.
I think there's
yeah.
it's the great eight that are out there standing there going no, 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 and
Yeah, and he's a pretty
it's-
much moderate guy. He's
yeah,
not
and they don't want anybody moderate in there.
Well, they can't get what they want because not all Republicans are as
Right.
I'm
Right
not gonna
wing.
say right wing as they
Extreme right wing.
are. Yeah, yeah.
And
So
that
Patrick
small
Patrick
group
McHenry-
is the one making all the crap.
Well, Patrick McHenry is, I think, I've seen him up there. He's kind of just a nice guy. You know,
He's reasonable.
he's reasonable. You know, so I mean, it's a real crap show. I use that instead of the other term because the other term would get me demonetized. But who knows
So
about?
the other news that I did hear earlier was Sydney turned.
Oh yes, that's the big story
Yes.
today.
Yeah,
Well, that's the big story today. If you
dominoes are beginning to fall.
exclude Israel at this
Yeah.
point, that's the top story. I would say.
I thought that was kind of fun because I thought she was going to turn. I thought if anybody was going to turn first, it would be her.
What do you mean turn?
She was going to turncoat and spill the beans.
Oh, okay.
She was the one that was up there making the most noise
Mm-hmm.
and had the microphone. And now that she's said, "Okay, I'm going to squeal," who else is going to follow now?
Am I right or wrong? She's a lawyer, right?
She's a lawyer. She was
Okay.
the one that was up there saying
So
everything's
what
a
happens to
big
what
scheme."
what happens to her legal license or whatever if she says
That I don't know, but I'm sure it'll get either suspended or pulled. But her deal was like, it's basically a slap on the hand for all the information she's going to give. She'll get like I think it was a 6-year probation, a $2,700 fine.
Okay. I can lend
And-
her. I can lend her that.
Yeah, and then she gets to squeal everything, but it has to be truthful, under oath, and everything that she knows will be
Yeah.
disclosed.
So this means that Trump's in a lot of trouble.
Exactly. And so is
But you hear
who's the
what-
next one? Who's the guy that's going on trial Monday? Who's the next one in line?
That's
Not Eastman, the other guy.
I know who you're talking about.
I forgot the other guy's name.
Yeah.
Oh, am I wrong? But is it the guy that was his lawyer? I can't remember his name either. But
Not
that guy.
Giuliani.
No. Oh, Rachel Maddow was on The View, and she thinks that, I mean, if Trump were to ever become president, he would put Giuliani on the Supreme Court. Like, she has a book out about fascism.
Yeah. Rachel Maddow. Anyway, yeah, he's going to put Giuliani on the Supreme Court. Come
I
on.
know that'll never happen, right? Like, that's crazy, right?
Yeah.
I don't think it would. But I know who was that guy that was the lawyer.
Listen,
for him?
he won't. Not only wouldn't he put him on the Supreme Court, he isn't even paying his legal bills.
Right.
You know, which he should do for him for all that he did for Trump. And
well, let's hope, God forbid, it looks like Trump isn't gonna probably, hopefully, run or something, right? Because he's in deep shit, right?
well, who knows what's going to happen?
Yeah, we don't know. We just have to watch it play out.
Yeah.
And see what happens. How long do you think it's going to take? We have no way of knowing either, right? It's crazy.
Well,
I've never seen something like that. It's bizarre.
some of the elements in this situation are going pretty fast, actually.
Really? Oh, good.
Yeah, no, they're going pretty fast if you think about it.
Yeah. I want it to go fast, and
It's,
look at how many times.
I think there's certain cases that won't go fast. I think Georgia's going to go pretty fast.
Mm-hmm.
I think the thing in New York is going to go bat crazy. It's going to be finished very shortly. And, he's going to lose all his properties here in New York City.
Yeah. Have any other states gotten in on the bandwagon with this or something? Or?
No.
Is that enough, the ones that did get together to do something? Or
Well, no states got together except for New York.
right.
And Georgia's got their own thing against him.
And that's enough.
And I love the judge in the case, here in New York. Because it's the judge I had for my case
That's right.
that I had, that same judge, Judge Engerin.
Your apartment case and all that.
I mean, here's the terrible problem. I'm having problems with the landlord. He's not giving me a lease renewal based upon my on my original lease, which you're supposed to do. You can't renew a lease. You can't renew some imaginary number. You have to renew on the terms and conditions of the original lease. And they refuse to do that. These guys are just not sending us. And so they're probably going to try and evict me or whatever, and I have to go back to court. But I would like to go back to Engerin and say, these people are not living up to their what they were told to do by you, because they went to the court of the appellate court, and then they went to the Court of Appeals, and they lost both of them, which means it throws it right back to Engerin's decision, and they have to abide by it. But they're not. So I need a judge who's going to say, if you don't start abiding by it, you're going to jail. Which he could do. And Engerin's the kind of judge that would say that to them, because he didn't like them that much. He thought they were real crooks. Yeah. What?
Chesbro.
I was going to say, Alex, you just have to kind of ride it out, and see, because eventually.
I don't want to ride it out. I want my goddamn lease, okay? What are you going to say, Kevin?
Chesbro is the next one up.
Who?
Kenneth Chesbro is supposed to start his trial next week.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and he's the one that's gonna. He asked for a speedy trial and he got it. Now he's starting to go. Maybe I should put the brakes on this one.
What did
and Sydney said that she's going to release the Kraken.
Oh, okay.
He's supposed to start his trial next week.
Oh, really? Wait a minute. Turn your audio down there, John.
He asked
John,
for a speed.
Turn that.
What?
Get rid of your.
Maybe I should put the brakes on this one.
What?
Listen to that. We've got our audio on from you.
Oh, sorry. That's right. Right.
Okay.
He's supposed to start his trial next week.
Oh, really? Wait a minute. Turn your.
Okay.
There we go.
Yeah.
Whoa! I was getting dizzy.
I had YouTube on.
Yeah.
No, I can't find my Zoom. Where's my Zoom? Oh, here it is.
I'll be right back. I'm going to transfer it to my computer. Bye.
Oh, okay. You're going to transfer to your computer.
Yeah.
Goodbye, Brian. Maybe I won't pick up the phone.
Make sure you got your clothes on.
Big Dick Brian on my name when I come back on. Bye.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Now I get all those people who are trying to Zoom bomb me. Or Zoom bomb me as Brian.
It sounds like. Well, you have that notice now when you dial in. It has that notice.
I was just
I
gonna
put
say
it up
that.
there. Yeah, it is. It is against.
I think that's deterring, but I won't say any more about that because it's working.
well, no,
so
they
shut up.
literally, if you Zoom bomb, you can
Right.
go to jail.
Right.
You know,
I think
and
that's a good thing. Did you put that up there, or they put that
I
up
put
there?
it
It's
up
good.
there.
Good.
I put it up there, and
Good,
I
because
fully
I think-
intend to press charges.
Good.
You know, but and they can maybe that's helped. I hope that it's helped. Wait a minute, here comes Tony. Let me just, you know, I'm not taking any chances lately. Let's see here. Where's Tony? Is Tony? There he is. Is he there? There he is. Okay.
It's Tony.
That's Tony.
Close.
Tony. Yeah. So anyway, hey Tony, how are you?
Yeah. So
Pretty good.
Chesbro's up,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
he should be up for next. I thought it was Monday, but I think it's Thursday.
That's when
And
his
he's the one that's next up for trouble.
Mhm.
And now that she's going to spill the beans, it should have him changing his shorts a little bit.
Well, he was very close.
Yeah.
You know, he was very close.
Yep. So the
she
both
was,
of those
she,
two.
excuse me, she was very close.
Yeah, she's like, she was the one that she was a spokesperson. You always saw her up in front, you know, saying we're going to open up the
Yeah.
machines and all that stuff. She was the one stirring up all the crap.
Right. Right.
And I always thought when I saw her, I go, I just don't believe her at all.
Oh, we hated her.
Oh God!
We just hated her. You know.
And
was
now
a
she's the
joke.
first one to turncoat. It didn't surprise me at all.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if they're making some kind of a deal like that, she's got to have some good info. I mean, for all that they're going to get from her, she must have turned something loose on them. $2,700 and a 6-year probation. That ain't nothing.
Well, the question probably was, what are you going to tell us?
Yeah.
You know.
And she says she's going to release the Kraken. So
Well, you
Should
know
be
something
good.
here. This is the fault of Donald Trump. Okay, that he can't keep his people loyal. The reason he can't keep them loyal is he's not loyal to them.
he's not loyal himself. Exactly.
You know,
Exactly.
And when Rudy Giuliani is, you know, out there, sitting out there to dry,
Yeah.
and I understand he doesn't have a penny to his name now. He's
Yeah,
dead
selling
broke.
apartment it is.
What?
He sold the. My brother said he sold the apartment in Manhattan.
Yes.
That's
yeah.
what he's telling me. Yeah.
Yeah. I
I'd
mean,
be surprised.
I think the two people that made the biggest mistake during all of that was Giuliani, who just let himself open to just be lose every penny he's got, and the other guy is the My Pillow guy.
Yeah.
Now,
lucrative.
here's
My
a
you
mother-
know
guy.
what?
Here's a guy who had a great business going for him, selling cheesy pillows. Okay.
Had the little logo on it.
Yeah, but he had-
Lumpy pillows.
But he had a great business going for him, all based on his own personality, squeezing on his pillow,
That commercial
loving
place
his
we see
little
it
pillow,
on the show.
humping his little pillow, you know.
Hug it. He used to hug it like.
But yeah, My Pillow.
Well, it was like full of money.
If he had just
And he's-
not gotten into the Trump business,
I don't get it.
you know. But
And he was great material for Jimmy Kimmel.
yeah, it was great material for Jimmy Kimmel.
Great
but if he had
material.
just stayed out of that, the guy'd still have he'd have a huge business today. You
I
know.
mean, yeah, you're right. I mean, throwing all that away. I mean, Alex, if your agent would tell you something like, "Listen, don't do this, Alex. It's kind of bad," you wouldn't even tell you to do something. But some of these people, are they just that stupid?
But you know what?
What are you doing?
I feel sorry for none of them.
I know, but I think they lack common sense.
They do, and that's their own damn
It's a
fault.
cult, is what it is. It's a cult.
I
Right.
think it's more. I think they're just dumb. Like,
Well, they all think that if they kiss Donald Trump's ass, Donald
They're
Trump's going to
getting
watch
something.
out
Yep.
for them, and he
Yep.
never does.
Nope.
that
So
could be
what's
it.
happening now is Sidney Powell probably said to herself, "Why should I protect this guy? He's not doing anything to
Exactly.
help me.
Exactly.
You know, he's not saying, can I help you with your legal bills?" Which he could do because he has these PACs and stuff which are
Yeah, he's got
allowing
all
him to
that
use
money
the
for-
money for anything. And so he can turn some of that money over to Sidney Powell and say, here, take care of yourself. Hey, Rudy, you were really good to me. You were in there. You were fighting for me. Here's some money. You know?
I'd be really surprised to see what's going to happen when the family gets pulled into this, whether he, backs the family. Will he back his family? That's an interesting thought.
I think he leaves the family out.
Just let them hang.
I think he leaves them out of that inner circle.
It's not a matter of whether he leaves them out if the legal system pulls them in.
In the New York situation,
are they involved in that?
Oh yeah, they're
and when they get pulled into
I thought everything was under Trump's name.
No,
sure
they're on trial as well.
Oh, they're on trial. Okay.
Yeah.
Is he going to help them?
Oh, he would. I think he would help the daughter. The sons might have to swim in the Hudson
daughter.
River.
I don't think the daughter is involved
in the
New York case. It's just
she may have skated around it.
Huh?
She may have skated
the prize of his eye.
Yeah, but I mean, yes, Charlene.
Can I ask, how did they implicate the sons? It's the sons that are going to probably get implicated somehow.
Well, they're part of the business.
Oh, okay.
They're not going to be implicated. They're on trial in the civil case. It's not a criminal case.
Mm-hmm.
It's the criminal case. Criminal case without a jury, and he's complaining now. How dare they not give me a jury? What kind of country do we? Can I finish before you ask another question, Charlene? Jeez almighty. Now I forgot what I was going to say.
Oh, you were saying about the trial. You were complaining about the jury.
Well, he's complaining about how he has no jury in this case, and that what kind of country is this where you don't get a jury? Well, I'll tell you where it is. If your lawyers don't ask for a jury, you don't get one.
And that's what he asked for.
And he forgot to ask for one, and then the time passed, and he couldn't get one. All right? Plain and simple. So now it's the judge who's going to make the determination, and he's already made a what do they call it, a supplemental a judgment in which he said that they can't practice business in the state of New York any longer. And now we'll go to the trial and see how much money he owes for this. But the judge is already, because the judge is going to make the determination and is going to be the guy who's going to, he's the judge, jury, and executioner, okay? Because he has to do that. Trump is being really stupid by getting him mad at him.
I was just going to say, he's pissing off the big guy. I mean, really.
Well, my landlords did the same thing with him, and he nailed him, So, I mean, this is a judge that just doesn't put up with this kind of crap. And happens to, I might add, happens to be a pretty decent guy, After our case was over with and we had settled it and whatever, he invited us into his chambers to sit down and just talk with him for a bit. And he was really nice, But, I mean, if Trump thinks he's getting away with anything with this judge by going after his court clerk too, I know her as well. He went after her, and this judge said, "Look, you just don't come after the people who work for me. You just don't do that."
And why do you go after a court clerk? They're just
she's a lawyer. She's really the judge's lawyer. And she
in a civil case,
and she's involved in the civil case too, but I mean, he's just stupid. He's just really stupid. I mean, do you want to win this case? You want to lose this case? He's already lost his case in New York. Already lost it. Because he's just been acting up too much. That's all, So.
Yeah, it's just in the penalty phase now, where they're just going to determine.
Yeah, all this really is how much he's going to have to pay. Exactly. Yeah. And you can imagine.
How long is it going to take Alex for him to pay him? He'll never pay.
But he'll be busted though.
Well, he may have to sell all his properties in New York.
Yeah.
I wonder what he has left. I wonder
Depending
what
on
he has.
Well,
left
let's
in
see.
this thing.
Let's see how much he's worth when they try to get
Yeah,
rid of
depending
him.
on what
That I
they're
want to
worth.
see. I want to see how much he's actually worth on paper.
Like
That would be interesting.
he keeps saying, "How can you say that Mar-a-Lago is only worth 133 million dollars?" He says it's worth several billion. What?
Is anything in Florida
That
worth
would
that
be
much
the
more
most
than Disney World?
expensive. That would be the most expensive home in the world, practically, at several billion dollars.
Wow, Barry Manilow was a grandfather.
Huh?
I'm reading in the news. Barry Manilow was a grandfather. I didn't know he had kids.
Wait a minute.
The singer.
Yeah, he's a grandfather.
That's what I think it is. Yeah, they must have had kids with the. I'm sorry to get off
I
topic.
always had the feeling he was gay.
Yeah, he is. They must have. They must have did the when their lady carries it for them or something. They must have paid somebody.
Oh yes, yes, that could be.
Yeah, I don't know
that
if it's a
could
boy
be.
or a girl though.
Because I mean, if he's married to some, even
Yeah, he's
some
married
guy-
to his what it was. I think the agent Alex. I forgot the guy's name.
Oh boy, now she's putting up a phony arm. It's getting annoying.
I was gonna put
I'm
up a
sorry.
knife. I was gonna try to be funny. That's not funny, right? And put up a knife and said I cut it off, but I don't know. I'm sorry, Alex. I apologize for interrupting you. But I was gonna say it's a surrogate, right? A surrogate. You
Yeah,
know?
that's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it's called. What happened to Brian? I thought he was coming back.
He's putting the girl to bed, his daughter, maybe.
No,
He stays up late, right?
the girl goes to bed on her own. She's a big
Yeah.
girl now.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
How you doing there, John?
Pretty good, pretty good. Just same old stuff. Working the theaters and at nights. So
Mhm.
ushering.
Well, you live in the part of
Just turned 66.
God
really.
bless you. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
So,
You're good.
but you live in an area that's really where all the stores are closing down now, right?
Well, yeah, it's really weird. Like, seems like the only things that stay in business are pot stores and
Really?
dildo stores.
And dildo stores, but there are no more porn stores, are there? There are no more
Well,
porn.
they have what's called a good vibrations, which is just for vibrators and
Yeah,
shit.
yeah, but I mean, there's no place where you can go and see a peep show anymore, or
Not live.
or
There's
buy a
like
porn film.
No, there are. Yeah,
there are really.
Not many, not too many.
I mean, I just don't even see how the porn business stays in business, since who pays for porn?
Yeah. The Mitchell Brothers has been closed up for years. The
Yeah,
building's still there, but it's pretty much just derelict and empty for years.
so that nobody's taken it over or used it for anything.
What didn't his daughter inherit the business or something? Or one of their daughters? The Mitchell Brothers'
Well,
daughters?
somebody. That was the saddest story of all time.
Yeah.
These two brothers built this kind of porn empire called the Mitchell Brothers, with the Mitchell Brothers Theater. And one day, this is highly biblical.
Oh, wow.
One brother kills the other.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and he
And
did.
then the son, their son killed his sister too.
What?
Crazy.
Yeah, they had a son, or one of them had a son and a daughter,
Mm-hmm.
and the son killed the daughter, I think,
Mm-hmm.
because he was on drugs or something like that. I don't know. I can't remember what the story was, but
Yeah,
something like that.
I don't remember that part of the story.
Yeah, it happened quite a few years
Well,
after.
and it was strange because if you go back and I say the story is biblical
Meaning like what?
in its
Like Cain and Abel?
Cain and Abel.
Yeah,
that's
I mean,
right.
yeah, I mean, but what happened is that which one died? Artie died, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah,
What was the other one's name? Jim.
Jim.
Yeah.
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 And what happened was Artie was like a real drug user and was just completely out to lunch and just completely gone, and would do all kinds of things which were just horrible, just annoying and whatever. And it's like Jim killed him partially out of love for him. If you know what I mean?
Well, he put him out of his misery, like he knew.
To put him out of his misery. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so like a suicide almost.
Yeah. And how much time did Jim get in prison? Not a long time.
I think his defense was self-defense, though.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, Tony.
I don't want you to get mad, but I got a message from Phil, your former caller in. He wants me to tell John that check your message box, John. You owe him on a bet. I don't know what on a Trump.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Me?
You know,
No.
wait a minute. Hold on a second. I'm not going to have you do Phil's work. If Phil wants to talk to John about this, he can call up the program. Okay. Nobody has told him he couldn't call the program.
I told him to call the show.
I told him he couldn't.
Huh?
I told him he couldn't call anymore.
What, you guys had a falling out?
You told him he couldn't call anymore? No, we didn't have a falling out. He had a falling out with my wife.
Ooh. Oh, wow.
My wife said something about him on one of our little things out in the park, and he took offense to it and said, I'm never calling again.
Jeez.
Well, you know.
If I recall, the bet was either Trump goes to jail or Trump becomes president. I said he goes to jail before he becomes president, and he said he'll be president before he goes to jail.
Well, neither of you are right or wrong yet.
That's right, exactly. Yeah, the bet's still alive.
Yeah.
Technically, yeah.
How much was the bet for?
I don't know.
$1.
Was it $20 or something?
Was it a pinky swear bet or something like that?
I think it was $20.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
I don't know.
Do you really need it that much, Phil? Yeah. But anyway, but it was a very sad story that happened with the Mitchell brothers, and both of them are dead now. Jim died, right?
Yeah.
So they said like Fleet Week was started from Feinstein, right? They said she's the one that really started the Fleet Week. But I think all the brothels and everything was there way before, right? The brothels and everything must have been there like during the gold rush times, probably.
Oh, for sure. Well, yeah, there was always vice in San Francisco from way back.
Yeah, that was the best part about San Francisco.
Yeah,
Charlene.
You know, is that worse than the Wonderland? That was in L.A. or something, right? The Wonderland.
Wonderland was an entirely different situation.
That's what I thought, Alex. Sorry, but I know about that one. And John Holmes.
Yeah, but that has not, just because they were both porn associated doesn't make them having anything to do with each other.
Right, I understand, Alex, but somebody should vlog that thing on YouTube. The vloggers I watch, because they did the Wonderland. That one sounds even worse and crazier.
Oh, wait a minute. Phil just sent me a note here. Tony is a moron. I told him I owe John the money.
Oh, I got it wrong. I'm sorry, Alex. I'll collect
it. He doesn't owe me yet. Not yet. Tell him, I mean, unless he wants to pay me. I don't know.
Well, I mean, I don't think that bet would be over yet.
Yeah, because he's not president and he's not in jail. You gotta.
Right.
But we do know this from Phil. Tony's a moron.
Well, yes, that's right. My brother will concur, Al. He never shuts up.
Yeah.
But why is Phil not calling if he has something with Marjorie?
I don't know. You know, I told him, it's my Marjorie said that. Don't ever call her.
Yeah, don't call her show.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I'll boycott her show. How's that?
But, I mean, I guess I'm supposed to suffer for the sins of my wife, In fact, in the show that we did, I defended him. See, from what she was saying, I defended him.
I heard it, Alex. You did.
Yeah, but he has the loyalty of a Donald Trump, okay? So,
Does that mean Tony's Giuliani doing all his dirty work?
Yes, my hair's gonna start melting soon.
Oh boy!
I don't have an apartment in the city to sell.
Where's Where's Giuliani been?
We went back Trump, I'll tell you that. We'll give you
Well,
the bomb back.
Giuliani's been, I guess, moving
Broke.
furniture. I would imagine.
Imagine his credit. Alex, imagine he goes to a diner and his credit card fails. Excuse me, this is no good. It's $40. What are you
No,
doing?
he really is broke. He's dead broke.
Yes, I mean, come on.
You know.
His lawyer is suing him.
Yeah. And I wish I could feel sorry for him, but I can't. You know,
Yeah.
again, here's another guy. See, all these people felt they were going to get something out of Trump.
I want to know those
You
true
know,
story.
and
It's like a regular paycheck.
And Trump, like the Godfather, demands extreme loyalty.
As opposed to right
Okay, and if you don't get loyal, you're out of the picture. So you maintain your loyalty. So guys like the My Pillow guy really thought that Trump was going to do something for him.
He went
I
to the
don't
mat
know-
for him.
I don't- huh?
He went to the mat for him. That's what they say.
Yeah, I mean, who
Oh,
knows?
he put him out the misery of.
Who knows what they were going to do?
I want to know what he promised these guys.
He
In
didn't
that
promise them
movie.
anything. What they were is
Neither
they were hanging on to his celebrity.
Yeah, yeah,
That's really what they were doing.
yeah.
And I don't know if anybody's going to do that anymore. I think people are learning their lesson from how he's treating all these other people. You know.
I think some people still get starstruck, and when he says, "Yeah, let's do this," they're all, "Oh yeah, he likes me," and then they still get slapped later.
Yeah. So anyway, let me see here. There's one other thing I wanted to talk about. I can't remember what it is now. See, I can't keep a thought for any long amount of time. I have a pen here.
No, you know what I do? I write notes down when
I should write a note down like
Joe notes.
I do
Phil,
my notes in my
I-
comics when I'm
Phil and I-
my
We joke
books.
about our
Great.
show notes.
I write little
Hey,
notes.
Alex, so is this day 2 of no pills?
This was day 2 of no pills. We took a walk, and I had a hard time walking today. I don't know why, but I did take my pregabalin, the neuropathy pill. So I shouldn't have had as much trouble walking, but somehow I was very weak walking. I don't know why, but anyway, I walked I walked over a mile today.
That's good.
Oh, that's good.
So, I mean, I should try it more. I think it's maybe because I haven't been walking much lately.
Yes.
But what's interesting, I'll tell you, had this tooth pulled, right? Had the implant inserted.
Mhm.
They do that all at once now, folks.
Oh, they shot it out in the place?
Yeah, they put the in.
Yeah, they have the machine. They have the machine downstairs. And they made you wait in the chair. They did that for me one time.
What?
Do they make the tooth right there? They come out with it. They have like a.
No, they make it
Oh,
tooth.
we're gonna argue about this.
Here
for
we
half hour.
go again.
No.
Here we go again. This is what happened
They
last
drill the
time.
hole and then they put the thing in there. That's the implant. Then they had put a post in there and then they put the crown on top. You're talking about the crown.
Dental implant part 2.
I'm sorry. Okay. So go ahead.
Watch last night's show.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm glad I'm
Oh, there we go. I just
Damn
wanted,
enough to be popcorn.
I just wanted to make sure it was him.
Yeah, nobody would use his name.
Bill, what's this? What's the deal with the bet now?
I thought it was that Trump wouldn't get arrested, and that's why I thought I owed you the dough.
Yeah. And
So
think
I
every-
wrote you
every
to-
indictment-
Oh, I see what you're saying. Oh, no.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're right. I won. Send me the money.
Well,
John,
I
think-
wrote you
Well, he
on
not only-
Facebook Messenger, but you never answered.
I don't use
He not
Facebook,
only got
sorry.
arrested, he did it full.
Yeah, 3
bore.
times. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I thought that was the bet.
I thought the bet was that he's got to go to jail first. Either he becomes president or goes to jail first.
Well, he got booked.
Yeah, I mean, man.
He got
Not
booked.
idiot, he's not guilty.
He got booked 3
Right.
times.
Yeah,
Yeah,
3
technically, I guess I
times.
won then. I guess I won.
No, but
Yeah.
I think is every indictment got like $100 or something. I think it was every.
It was
indictment.
only one bet, but Brian's Daddy Warbucks there is willing to assume my debt.
No, I'm not covered.
No, wait a minute.
Phil, you can just say you paid in Gabnet bucks, so it's all settled.
Nah, that's a bet.
You can bet MGM. You can go in and get
But
Okay,
so I've been trying to get John to either friend me on Facebook, which he doesn't do, or look at his messenger so I can make good on the bet. That's all.
Just come to the city. We'll go have dinner over at.
All right.
Go to what's that place on Van Ness? The steak place, Harris.
I like Harris.
Harris, yeah.
What,
go there.
what it's called? What's it called?
Harris's Steakhouse.
Yeah,
It's part of the
Harris Ranch.
Well,
Harris
oh,
Ranch.
I see. But there's also the House of Prime Rib down there. I'm betting.
love that.
yeah,
too.
that too's good too. Yeah, either or.
You can't get reservations there.
Yeah, you can.
Not if you want reservations for two.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
I've done it. Yeah.
The guy told me, "Oh, you gotta just walk in and see if it's available."
Yeah, you can do that.
What's that all about?
I mean, you could get a seat.
Do you want my business or don't you want my business?
They don't want my business.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
He chokes at the end of the meal to get it for free.
So I don't know how to get a hold of you to.
You can text me here. I'll show you my text thing here.
Just you come on. Just go through Tony. Tony will handle all your.
Tony's a moron. I can't tell Tony anything.
It's like telephone. I got it wrong. I don't know what I got to do. It's not Batman or Spider-Man. I'm out to lunch or the football.
We'll end up being there the wrong night or the wrong restaurant.
And by the way, I'm not mad at Marjorie, and I'm not mad at anybody. It's this wokeism stuff, where people are tribal and they take sides and they get angry. I just don't want to be around that. It's.
What do you mean? Nobody's taking sides here.
Can you read that?
The only trouble was.
Great.
What?
Go to Chinese when I come out there.
Nobody's going to see that, right?
Yeah.
Who cares?
I'm up all night. I gotta watch the TV.
You're gonna get porn calls now.
Oh yeah, really.
Hey, Phil, we need to do a whole night because we got to get Steve Fox and everybody. So if you guys are gonna get together, let me know.
That's
okay.
Together with him on Friday.
Nobody's inviting me.
Yeah, I mean,
you're geographically
with me, Alex, when I go.
Alex, you're geographically undesirable.
We're coming.
Oh, really?
We're gonna hide.
Really?
Hey, I will take your ticket if you say you're gonna come. So don't say like nobody invited me, okay?
Well, there's no ticket. It's Steve's
No,
final
for
night.
Alex. I mean for Alex.
Oh.
Yeah, you're invited. So I'll go on Facebook and you can get a hold of me on Facebook, okay?
All right.
Everybody's got your phone number here now. They just call you.
Nobody watches this thing, so who's going to have his phone number?
Well, we know it's one of 40 people. That's all.
Right.
No, actually, remember when
I got two Facebooks. One's under John Larkin and the other one's under Fred Smirk.
We only used to have about
I did both.
200 people watching this show when you were calling it. Yeah.
How many?
Like 200 were calling, who were watching it when you were calling the show.
Only once there was some glitch. I think something happened. And
No. I'm talking about, we don't just count what happens now. We count who's watching over a couple of days, right? And we usually got about 200, and since you stopped calling, we now get 1,000. So anyway,
well, that's great. But you certainly don't get any more callers. You see, you had a whole bunch of people who say, "I'm not going to call in because that Phil is on." They're very tribal.
What is this tribal crap?
Tribal is that people pick sides, and then
you don't pick sides.
Of course I do.
Okay.
But the thing is, they pick the wrong side. So
No, but I mean, I always stood up for you.
Yes,
you're right to call the show.
And I did, but you see, I want to make good on the bet because I don't.
So you only called today because it could make you $20.
No, I didn't. It's not my $20. It's me paying the $20.
Okay, gives you a chance to be honest.
Yeah,
and to be good on your debts.
It's the best policy, my mother used to say.
Yeah. That's what I do.
That's what you do.
I'm an honest guy.
So how have you been, Phil?
You know, it's I've had my issues. I'm going in the hospital on December 22nd for a what is that?
The hernia you told me.
Hernia, yeah. And it's been bothering me.
Oh,
But that's in and out, right?
I've had a hernia.
Couldn't you
I've had a hernia. I've had a hernia for years, but it never bothers me. Really.
Yeah, this one bothers me.
They say don't do anything about them till they hurt.
Yeah.
You know that it's anybody else here ever have a hernia?
My uncle
Kevin,
did,
have you
yeah.
had a hernia?
No, not yet.
Not yet. Okay.
I'm looking forward to one.
Yeah.
You will after tonight.
Hyena.
Yeah.
Hernia.
But you know, we've missed you, Phil.
Oh, well,
Yeah,
thank you.
that was endearing.
We
And,
missed you, but we can do it
you know,
again.
Phil knows
yeah,
that.
I also get up at 4 a.m. now because I go to the gym 3 to 4 days a week, and I'm there at 5:30. And so you know, I go to sleep around 8.
Well, that gives you one
Counting
day.
sheep.
That gives you one day you can call us, though. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm let's see, Faye moved out. She got very religious.
What?
And she moved down the hall. We got her apartment down the hall from me, so I don't have to listen to her praying 6 times a day.
Sounds like my
Wait a
mother.
minute. Wait a minute. All of a sudden, well, of course, she got to know you, and she got religious.
She found
Well,
God.
You tell us this at 8:56.
Oh, you have to all back on this. You're opening the Pandora's box.
Come on, Phil. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, so you know, I'm enjoying life.
Well, you know,
Hold on now.
are you sure she just didn't move down the hall because your prostate isn't working anymore?
Nah, I doubt it.
Oh, by the way, what's happening with that? Didn't you say that you were
Oh, yeah,
doing
remember the
something
guy
where they,
who-
I don't know, were doing something
there-
horrible to
there's
you?
been, there's been some, you know, improvement, but not enough to do the deed.
Now, what was it they were doing to you?
It's called Gaines wave therapy,
Mm-hmm.
which is where they try to break up the plaque. And the other thing is PRP, which is where they take your red blood cells and they separate them and then they re-inject them.
Where do they re-inject them?
There's two sites on the member.
Oh, I see. So what they're doing is they're shooting blood into your penis.
Yeah.
That must be pleasant.
Yeah, you know,
I think if Phil can find more disgusting things to do with his body, he will find them. And
Yeah,
pay for them, I might add.
yeah. They, you know, there's some improvement in size and so.
Oh, so
but-
anyway, but you're going in for the hernia, so
Yeah.
that's not a big deal. You know,
Well,
it's a
no.
couple of 3 weeks or something before you're up and around, or
Well, they said 8 for that I couldn't lift anything more than 8 pounds.
yeah. But I mean, are you going to be out and about with
after
short time?
4 days. So the reason I'm
Oh.
doing it on December 22nd, that's a Friday. Then you have the Christmas.
Hey, listen,
Christmas coming up.
I gotta get the hernia operation because you say they tell you not to lift anything for 8 weeks, so I won't have to take the garbage out.
Well, they'll get you one of those roller carts.
Marjorie will say, "Come on, help me make the bed." I'll go, "I can't. I got the hernia. I can't. The doctor said I'm not supposed to do anything. You know."
Use smaller
Get a
bags.
little bell, ring it on my dinner.
I can use those kind of excuses. It's really
Yeah.
good.
So you know, the 4 or 5, 6 days, you really are out of it, and those. So that's the way I'm spending Christmas. Thank you, Jesus.
Baby Jesus is coming.
Well, you're Jewish anyway,
Yeah.
you know. And you know, we didn't have time to even get into Israel with Phil, which I'm glad we didn't.
Well,
But
Maybe
come,
another
come
day.
back and see us again, will you? It's
all
such
right,
a pleasure.
John. I'll settle up with you.
Okay.
And Tony the moron, never give him a message to relay.
Give me a message.
Go on.
He's in charge of our dinner night.
He's gonna
He'll arrange everything.
Anyway.
He'll arrange everything for us.
Hey, listen, I'm playing the theme. I don't know, you can't hear it, but I'm playing the theme. Thank you very much to Charlene for joining us tonight. Thank you, Charlene. Thank you to our good friend Kevin who is always on this program, and it always makes me feel good that he's here. And of course, John Larkin. Nice to see you. You should call more often.
You too. Yeah,
call
I would
more.
if I wasn't always working at night.
Yeah. And Tony, thank you for calling and getting yourself into trouble with Phil. And thanks to our good friend Brian. And finally, thanks to Phil. Phil, we really appreciate it. Nice, and please call us again, okay? You're always welcome on this show. And everybody, why don't you give yourself a big wave goodbye, and I'll give a big wave goodbye at you, okay? There they go, folks. That's our citizen panel for tonight. Jack Bishop is next over most of this same station. He'll be right here taking your calls on Skype at GabNet Live. I'll see you again tomorrow night. Same time, same station in life, and in the meantime, if you see her, tell her I love her, okay? Bye-bye, everybody.